It was kind of, we think that after 51 weeks, I would have this down to the perfect level to ring the bell. It doesn't shatter your ears or leave you straining. So it goes. But we are here today, and it is Friday, June 16th. And it's also my last day as president in this space. So. I hear that means there's something about a roast that's going to be going on later. So we'll see here. That was it. Short and sweet. Thanks for coming, everybody. But in addition to being the roast day, it's also Ugliest Dog Day, World Sea Turtle Day, Fresh Veggies Day, and my favorite, National Fudge Day. And we can't forget that Sunday is going to be Father's Day. So you're here to all the fathers, grandfathers, uncles, stepdads, and guys here today. And of course, Monday is also Juneteenth, also known as Emancipation Day. So let's proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And as Rotarians, we try to live by the four-way test of the things they are due. Is it the truth? Is it fair? Will it be well friendships? Will it be beneficial to all of us? And today for inspirational message is Marie.
Well, as Elizabeth said, Father's Day is coming up, and so I think of my dad. I'm going to make this short so you can keep standing. Okay, because I know there's a full program in honor of Elizabeth. But the one thing about my dad that I'll never forget is his words of advice. And he always said, never forget how lucky we are to be in America. Never the United States, it's always lucky to be in America. As most of you know, I'm an immigrant. And when we first immigrated here, I have to tell you, life was very, very difficult. But it's nothing like what's going on right now with my family in Ukraine, as you've been reading and so on. My family happens to be on the west side of Ukraine, so it's not as difficult as on the east side. But even on the west side, as I talk to my cousins, things that they've had to deal with these last 16 months. During the winter time, they only had power for 2 to 3 hours a day. That was it. So imagine that. Then they finally had an awful lot of people that were donating money to get generators. So now they have generators at the power station to back it up if it goes down again. And so throughout the city, my cousin says, all you hear is this, because the generators are on all the time. But then they have power, right? The sirens go off on the west at least once a day. And so you look for the best place to hide. And this is in the west of Ukraine, where right on the Polish border, where it's not as difficult as on the east. Food is very expensive, and it's also limited because a lot of the food, remember that the Ukraine has always been called the breadbasket of Europe. And the good, rich soil is actually in the east and in the middle of Ukraine, right around Kherson. And so food would be coming to the west from Kherson. It's not there anymore. And so, in my father's words, for Father's Day and also at the 4th of July coming up, please, all of you, remember how lucky we all are to be in America.
Thank you very much. Please enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, welcome back. I made up for it that time, so if you average the dings, we're good. The third one at the end of the news will be perfection. We have a full program today, and I certainly will not prevent us from getting to the main dish, as it were. But before we do that, we have a few other exciting things to do today. The first of which is to welcome another new member. Yay! So fellow Rotarians, it's my privilege and pleasure today to welcome into membership to our club, Katie Baxter, whose name was proposed by Bob Bilski. Her proposal has been reviewed by the board in accordance with our constitution and bylaws and has been approved for acceptance into our club. Katie, we will now proceed to admit you into membership of the Rotary Club of Flint and to the fellowship of Rotary throughout the world. It has already been explained to you that the ideal of Rotary is service, which of course our motto is service above self. And the object of this club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster the ideal as a basis of worthy enterprise. So you are now part of this effort. You've been approved for membership in this club because we believe you are worthy as a representative of your vocation. You've shown your interest in the ideals of Rotary and that you're willing to do your part in translating these ideals into real tangible reality. You've agreed to accept the obligations attached to your membership and to obey this club's constitution and bylaws. And so it's my pleasure now to invite you up, Katie, along with your sponsor, Bob, and we will formally introduce you.
My wife's
Microphone is right here.
Can I read?
Oh, it's over here.
If you'd like a mobile one.
Yeah, I love it.
There you go.
Then we don't have. to-
Okay. What did I do?
You get
Are you
official
paying?
pin.
Get my penny.
You want me to hold up?
Well, heavens, I've got this whole long speech.
Well, I was gonna pin her and then you can get your speech.
Okay.
The roles were
There we go,
started.
yeah. I don't wanna damage your,
No, just put it on there.
I'm with it.
Put it right on
put
there.
it right on there. Okay, there you are. It's your official pin,
Oh, thank
your
you.
mug,
Oh, look at me.
and
Better.
your certificate.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
There you are.
Yeah.
Is this on? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, you can hear me. Anyway, it really is an honor for me to introduce Katie Baxter to you. You've seen her at several meetings already. But let me tell you a little bit about her. Katie is a new CPO of Catholic Church. And a very faithful person and a person with vision. And I think she's gonna do a fantastic. Just a little background, you'll find she's heavy in master of social work. Certified in alcohol protocol. So here, and it's really like pretty cold, very profession. She's worked in the on every year. Now, it struck me when I read this, and she put it together. She has a passion for the dignity of life and has committed herself to that and all previous for to the passion and it'll clearly become our volunteers in life and supporting them through difficult situations and their the accepted religion of the evil and courage and all of things. Here, Scott, the area where you're years, and you're actually members of their St. Fred. In addition to spending time with their family, Katie enjoys biannual kayak, reading, bicycle ride. And I must tell you, we just had a chance to visit with and she was explaining the 50-mile race that she was doing her horse. And I said, wow. Hey, Katie Baxter, and my introduction. Katie, like saying.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Bob, so much. Yeah, the 50-mile race was a few years ago.
I can hear.
So thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be part of this organization. I will have to admit, when Bob, I didn't know a lot about the Rotary Club, and Bob was telling me about it, encouraging me, and I thought, what kind of time commitment is he getting me into? But then I learned more about the Rotary Club, and I love the values of the organization, all the good work. So thank you for welcoming me, and I'm happy to be a member. I'm also very privileged and humbled to be part of Catholic Charities Organization. It's a wonderful organization. And so thank you. Many of you I know have been big supporters of Catholic Charities. So we're doing a lot of good and exciting things right now. We are renovating St. Michael's Church. Some of you know we own St. Michael's Church. And we're renovating that, and it's going to be a beautiful conference training, a venue for people to have housing over about 300 people comfortably. So we'll have community programs and services in the bottom, but we'll have a nice space for trainings and conferences and things. So who knows, maybe the Rotary will be there sometime. And so a lot of exciting things, and some of you hear a little bit about tiny homes and some of the projects we're working on right now. We're still working with approval for our diocese, but we have some really exciting plans. I think you'll hear more about our Sacred Heart Village, Veterans Village. So some exciting things to come. So thank you so much, and I'm happy to be part of this group. Thank you.
We need a photo.
Get a picture. Oh, a picture of it? Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Get out of the picture. Yeah, I know.
Look at me, Bob. Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Well, I take
Yeah,
that. You
too.
do.
Yeah.
That's
That's right.
great. All right.
So other exciting news, of course, at this point, everybody knows that next Friday, we are not going to be here. We are going to be at the district conference. And our club meeting is going to be the kickoff for the district conference. So with that, as was announced last week, the board has offered to subsidize the registration for conference attendance that will cover half of those costs. So the full conference registration is 200. We will cover 100 of that. And the way that works is that you register and pay upfront on the website. And then you can let Amy Vanderput know whether you prefer to have your $100 credited toward your dues for the Rotary year that starts in July, or whether you prefer to have it credited as a contribution towards the Flint Rotary charitable endowment. So that would be your choice. But please, if you are able to register, we ask you do that soon, like today, because they're meeting final numbers for the conference. If you are not able to do the entire conference, but you want to attend just our meeting, for our club members, we are offering the option to pay $25 just for the lunch that will be held on site at the conference next Friday. And so you can prepay out front with Amy right now. So if you haven't yet done that and you'd like to do so, please see Amy in the next few minutes. Any questions about the conference? We happen to have like several people here who know everything about it. It's gonna be fabulous. Speaking of other things that are fabulous, the Crim Rotary Mile registration for that is open. And we will be having a breakfast and Bloody Mary bar that is furnished by our very own Mike Chafee for folks who want to register for that. So if you're not running or walking in the race and you'd like to come volunteer, we would love to have you. That's one of the signature events that we partner with other clubs from our area. And on your tables, you see a handout, and I hope that everybody has one that you can take with you today. Because of the decisions that our club authorized last month, we will be implementing our new calendar of events starting in July. And so this is the July schedule. You can see that we'll still be having 4 gatherings during the month. We're going to start off with our first week is a service week. And so we've got it arranged that we're going to volunteer to help plant flowers and spruce up the flower beds at the Flint Farmers Market. And that's going to be on Thursday, July 6th from 9 to 11 a.m. If you have a little more time and you want to work a little more, that's fine. If you want to hang out at the market after and grab a bite to eat, that's also fine. But we're hoping that this kind of volunteer opportunity is something that we'll be able to offer during the first week of each month. So it won't always be flower planting, but that's kind of a good excuse to be outside in the sunshine while the weather's nice. The second week, we'll have our traditional Friday at noon lunch meeting, and we will be having our official district governor visit from Sonia Glass, and that will be on July 14th. Third Thursdays are for social networking, and so we've got it arranged that we're going to take a little field trip to Tenacity Brewing. It will be a good opportunity to have a brief talk from them about kind of how they got their start and what it's like to be a startup business in Flint. And if folks want to hang out after and support said local business, so that is certainly, you're very welcome to do that. We hope you will. And then the last week of the month, the fourth week, will be again a traditional program, and that's when we've been able to reschedule the Ally Challenge speaker. So that's, one version of getting this information. We'll continue to reinforce that through your weekly emails, the website, social media, etc. But we just want to make sure that you have something you could put in your hands and take with you when you leave today, as we start to get acclimated to this new calendar. Any questions about that? All right. Well, then we'll proceed with the rest of our agenda today. I think I didn't see any guests in the room. I know on Zoom we do have some folks participating. So hello to Don. Here, let me turn you around so you can see the crew here. We've got Don, we've got Liz, we've got Ed. So hi, everybody. Glad to have you here today. All right. And then we have our 50-50 raffle. So for I won't say last time, hopefully we'll have a raffle at the district conference here. If we can figure out a way to do that, that would be fun.
But here we have
But we have it today.
Bain, I need to better. Bomb show, are you available? That's right. Only the ones that I get, then we get the cash.
All right.
Please stir the pot. Yes.
Okay, winning number for third place, 715591.
Do we have a winner? 591.
591, Reg Lancaster.
Where'd you go to school, Reg? And before that, Olivet College. University now.
All right.
Congratulations. We have a small school.
All
We
of
take
it.
care of our own.
Yeah. All right, second prize, 715664.
No, it's not me.
It's
Fred.
Oh, it's Fred. So there you go, Fred.
Let's try for.
You could have just swapped.
Yeah.
And for first prize this week, 71566. Excuse me. Let me correct that. 715644. Oh, Lynn. Congratulations,
And
Lynn.
I think Lynn was the one who said she never won
And
anything.
now she won the big prize.
Right, thank you, President.
All right, so it's birthday time. So if you're a June birthday baby like I am, get your dollars ready.
In the past, this page was like this long, and now it's about a third. So I don't know, we have to get some more June birthday members in here. Okay, so first of all, first birthday, Paul Bryant. His birthday was June the 1st. David Smith, who has been a member for over 32 years, and his birthday was June the 1st. Joel Fike, come join me, Joel. His birthday was June the 3rd. Elizabeth, June the 5th. Libby Maynard, will be June the 24th, and we haven't seen Libby in a while. I'm hoping she's doing okay, and maybe we can get her to a meeting sometime soon. Ashley, come join us, one of our newer members, June the 26th. Becky Millsap, also June the 26th, and I'm June the 29th. And so if we could sing happy birthday to everyone, please. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And I'll collect the dollars. Oh, you got it here? Oh, there. All right.
Well, now that we've had that, everybody can go home and enjoy their week. No. Now, there is one item of business, and I think I'm on the menu, so I will leave the podium and be intrigued by whatever happens next.
We will need this, so is this a week? Set up, if you don't need to go far, in fact, you can sit right here. And the council will sit beside you.
Oh, dear. Nobody told me I needed a lawyer.
And everyone, please rise. The Superior Court of Rotary District 6330 will be in session. The Honorable Duncan Eagle presiding.
With the exception of the jurors, you may all be seated. Mr. Bailiff, if you want to swear in our jurors.
Jurors, please raise your right hand. You got this right? Do you promise that you will listen to this case and render a true and fair verdict for this defendant? If so, please say I do.
I
will. Good. Your jury.
No one asked for you folks to be seated. Members of the jury, you are here today to determine whether the defendant, Elizabeth Jordan, the president of the Rotary Club of Flint, did in fact promote beyond a reasonable doubt the quality of life in Flint, and also her civic engagement by holding the Rotary four-way test. Your verdict should be based on the evidence. Once again, the verdict would be upon the defendant who showed that beyond a reasonable doubt. In fact, she did uphold the verdict. Thank you. We'll turn it over to the bailiff to announce the case.
Your Honor, today's case is Rotary Club of Flint versus Elizabeth Jordan.
All right, are the plaintiffs ready?
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready. You ready? Okay.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor, Ashley Crew, Ukraine, on behalf of the always innocent Elizabeth Jordan.
The plaintiff wish to begin an opening case.
Your Honor. Members of the jury, my name is Anne Marie Van Dyne, President-elect of Rotary Club of Flint, and I represent the Rotary Club of Flint in this case. We intend to determine if in fact the defendant, President Elizabeth Jordan, spoke the truth, acted in a fair manner to all concerned,
did indeed build goodwill and better friendships through her service and act in a manner that was beneficial to all concerned.
All right, very well. You may call your first witness. Oh. She is a nice lady, so I'll allow you to give.
Thank you, Your Honor. I know it's so preposterous that we're even here today right now, that I shouldn't even have to give this opening statement. But Your Honor, and members of the jury, my name is Ashley Crew, and I represent our esteemed president, Elizabeth Jordan, in this case. And under the law, my client is presumed innocent until proven guilty. During this trial, you will hear evidence that proves my client upheld the four-way rotary test of the things we think, say, and do.
Thank you. I think you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I call to the stand Jim Richardson.
Mr. Richardson, come on up, our available, have you sworn? Yes, right.
Right now, please raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Hello, do you please state your name for the court?
My name is Jim Richardson.
Thank you. You've known Elizabeth Jordan for some time. I'm wondering, Jim, have you witnessed the defendant exemplify the Rotary four-way test of the things you think, say, and do?
Well, I've had the pleasure of knowing Elizabeth. I've had the pleasure of knowing Elizabeth Jordan for a number of years. I've had the opportunity to work with her, to watch her professional development over time. I think even now and again, she's been on some organization that has evaluated the work that I've done in fact. But I can honestly say that she exhibits all of the values of the Flint Rotary. It's particularly noted about how very much fairness, equity, dignity, for feelings for well-being of people over property and money, always kind of been a guideline for the work that she's done. I've always been impressed about how really smart she is, how confident, really capable, how she's dependable. I can remember working with her on the master plan for the city of Flint, which she was very much instrumental in getting us started and setting parameters into which we work, and those parameters, I think, very much reflect the values of the Rotary. So I can very much unequivocally support that she upholds all the values of Flint Rotary.
Cross-examination.
No, for a plaintiff's witness, you have awful nice things to say about my client. It's just like that.
Right, no reason to ask you.
To make it worse.
All right, so I guess there's no reason, right?
Oh, no, I think I will. Just noticed a moment of hesitation, Jim, when you got started, and that you were reading from notes. Are you sure this is your testimony and your testimony?
Yes, it is my testimony. But maybe perhaps I have to say there was one incident that perhaps we should bring to light. As you know, we recently had a volunteer activity that Elizabeth sent in a note that said that she was going to volunteer to do it. And she included on that list a gentleman by the name of Miles. Miles showed up along with Elizabeth on the day of the event. And Miles is something in the neighborhood of what, 8 or 9 years old, something along that line. And I noted that Miles jumped right in, started picking up these flats of flowers and things, getting them stored away. And the defendant was standing there just watching. And so you begin to think a little bit about whether or not he's done this before, and what about child labor law? So I guess it's sort of a question.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right, does the plaintiff have any additional witnesses?
Yes. Thank you, Jim.
Oh,
Thank you.
I can leave, huh?
Thank you, Your Honor. I call to stand Jane Odell.
You raise your right hand and be sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may proceed, counsel.
Will you state your name for the court? Jane Odell. Again, have you witnessed the defendant exemplify the Rotary four-way test of the things they say and do? Yes. Okay. Would you care to give an example?
Well, I used to be the director of the Community Resolution Center. And our mission was to give access to a process known as mediation to folks who might not be able to afford a mediator. And so Elizabeth was on my board. I believe she actually was part of the decision making when I was hired. So I might be slightly biased for that. But certainly mediation gives everybody the opportunity to have a say, and by that process, it's fair and service. I think, yes, she does.
Cross-examination.
I found the question is, you like to change your answer or do that?
If I hadn't been sworn in, I could perhaps be persuaded.
No further questions.
You read the right.
Yes, please. Your Honor, thank you. So it's been reported that President Elizabeth is an avid Detroit Tigers baseball fan. And it has been reported that she has been known to go berserk and possibly hurling insults at the umpire, routinely displaying unsportsmanlike conduct. Do you believe these reports?
I've seen a lot of grown people act really oddly with things. So it's quite possible.
Have you ever been to a game when President Elizabeth Jordan?
Be a hockey game, but I think we've all heard them.
So it is possible.
It is possible.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
You have any doubt in your mind that Elizabeth's potential for sportsmanlike activity was anything but just jovial fun?
Probably because everybody else was doing the same thing. I just figured she got caught up in the crowd.
No further questions.
Prosecution, any further witness?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No. Defense, do you have any witness?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to call to the stand Rob Jewell.
That's a
Sure. Your water. Remember the jury.
I'd like to have him give me the
You know, the court has a busy docket. In fact, your case is after this one. Raise the right hand this morning.
no funny. Do you promise to tell the truth,
Yes,
the whole truth,
yes,
and nothing but the truth?
yes. And if it's okay with the court, my ability to do that is if I wear my Rotary cap, I'll be able to tell the truth.
For your
I know this is probably the toughest decision. Because Mr. Jewell has a taste after this is over, I want him to know that the board is fair, so reluctantly, we're going to allow you to.
Thank you.
Mr. Jewell, have you witnessed the defendant exemplify the Rotary four-way test of the things you think say?
I have to put it into a certain context. And the context I need to put it in is in the fact of being almost 30-year Rotarian, past president, past assistant district governor, overseeing our government programs and so forth.
No, is that a yes?
Yes.
Provide a brief example.
A brief example. The brief example kind of goes back to sponsoring Elizabeth as a member of Rotary. Outlined a variety of responsibilities we need to focus upon, and one was particularly the four-way test. Elizabeth and I had the honor of serving, filling our civic duties within the City of Flint Planning Commission. And as part of that effort, we also needed to review applicants on a particular program. And at a public hearing, we were questioning one of the applicants regarding specific issues and so forth. And those of you who've been able to attend those training and this year, and it can attest to the fact that I have a tendency to be extremely detailed. For some strange reason, the applicant didn't seem to be responding to the inquiries I was making. And at which point, Elizabeth asked permission of the chair, and the chair conceded to her. She did an outstanding job of filming four-way through the four-way test. And I realized right then and there what a way to involve Rotarian efforts in the community. So I think she's done outstanding.
I have no further questions.
Cross-examination.
Thank you. So, Mr. Jewell.
Yes,
President.
yes. And Texas and this director.
So in the course of observing this interaction with the, I believe it was a planning commission matter.
Yes, it's a public meeting, it's on record.
So can you say in this case that at the end of the day, the result was beneficial to all?
Yes,
And in the course of your experience with Elizabeth, have you ever known her in any way, in any even small way, tiny way, to be unfair?
give me a moment. No,
Thank you, Ron.
That's a redirect.
No, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
for the deputy inappropriate.
I'm not the attorney on that one.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. All right, any other evidence to be presented?
No,
Defense? Anything further you want?
Your Honor, I call to the stand my client, Elizabeth Jordan.
Yeah. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you.
First, I want to ask you, were you afforded the opportunity to know you'd be on trial today?
I was never Miranda. No.
But we'll proceed. Is it true to say that you have been an exemplary Rotarian and upholding the Rotary four-way test of the things you think saying?
I can say that I have always strived to do so. I don't claim to be perfect, but I think as much as I can, I'm going to come into the much that I do.
Her answer said it all.
That's all I have.
Excuse you, have you further questions?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
President Elizabeth. It's been reported that you have a very demanding job as a senior program officer of the Ruth Mott Foundation, charged with helping to create conditions for the residents of North Flint to thrive. Is that correct? Yeah. And you are also the wife of Antoine Edson and the mother of two busy young children, Kenneth and Miles. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you've served for 15 years in the City of Flint Planning Commission.
I do not currently serve, but yes, I serve for many.
And as such, you are an active contributor to the City of Flint Master Plan.
Correct.
Attending many meetings, many meetings.
Many.
Many meetings with children accompanying you, perhaps nursing children.
I think I was probably the first, maybe only person to nurse a baby from staring in city council chamber.
Sorry, I just. And that you served a very important role as a key liaison between the commission and the citizens committee that reviewed and proposed a new city charter for the city of Flint.
Correct.
And you're a current member of the City of Flint Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Commission, Genesee County. And you play an active role in the Community Foundation's Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Initiative.
Yeah.
And you have time for your family, Elizabeth Jordan.
I try never to miss a bedtime story or a baseball. Objection.
And so the only final questions I have is that there's potentially been some charges raised that potential child endangerment at a volunteer site. And I'm not being roasted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some question as to whether you've ever exhibited unsportsmanlike conduct at a sporting event.
Well, I would say that in terms of sporting events where I did see with Rotary, there are several in the room. So I would ask the guy with the cowbell, or maybe this gentleman like here, who's there, but his name is way back.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Further directions?
Two questions. This alleged child has been referenced to your child,
Yes.
and there's been no like investigation into your child. Okay.
And in fact, there is a picture of said child lifting said vegetable tray that was part of our Rotary Facebook page.
So this is it. And were you thrown out of any sporting events or?
No.
Good.
All right. I believe that's it. Thank you very much. You can go back and be seated. Sure. This is the defense equity.
Oh, Your Honor.
Any other rebuttal testimony from the prosecution? All right, all the evidence has been presented, so, Brianna, you want to give your closing statement, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Members of the jury, today you heard testimony about President Elizabeth Jordan's service to the community, her service to the Rotary Club of Flint, possible child endangerment, unsportsmanlike conduct. I would like to remind you that there's important information about this case for you to consider, and that at the end, it is your job to know if, in fact, Elizabeth Jordan upheld the four-way test. Did she say and do? Did she say the truth and speak the truth? Did she hear all concerned? Did she make every effort to build really better friendships? And were her actions beneficial to all participants in the
Thank you. Defense, wish to give a closing argument.
Your Honor, members of the jury, today you heard testimony about a super mom, living up to the four-way test and everything she thinks, says, and does. She does it for the betterment of her community and the betterment of her family, and we thank her. And for that reason, I would ask that you find her to have upheld.
All right, thank you. Let me speak directly to our jurors for a moment. Members of the jury, you have heard all of the testimony concerning this particular case. It's now your job to determine the facts in this particular matter. You and you folks alone are the judges of the facts. Once you decide what the facts are and what the evidence proves, you must then apply the laws I give it to you right now. The law in question is the Rotary four-way test of the things we think, we say, and do. So just answer the 4 questions. Did the defendant, President Elizabeth Jordan, number 1, speak the truth? Number 2, did she act in a manner for all concerned? 3, did she build goodwill and better friendships? And finally, did she act in a manner that was beneficial to all concerned? In just a moment, the bailiff will take you over into the corner in the render your verdict. First thing you should do is choose somebody to lead the discussion. That person's duty will be to sign the verdict as statement from as you agree. Whatever your verdict must be unanimous, must be all 3 of you. The bailiff will now escort you in all seriousness on the time element. We're pretty good. We're gonna give you 5 minutes. I think there should be enough if you need it. And bailiff, you can escort him to some private area.
All rise. All rise.
Thank you, right.
Jerry, please follow me.
Hey, see you, folks. Oh, actually, now as a judge in this matter and watching my favorite baseball team lose 12 out of the last 13, I nearly took a baseball and threw it to the screen. So I understand where you're coming.
Last night, though. There you go.
Judge, can we talk about the upcoming case or should I get an answer?
My suggestion, Mr. Julie, you and your attorney ought to find a way to sell it. I don't think you want to go to trial.
Your Honor, the jury is ready.
Come on, Matt.
All right.
All of you may be seated except the jurors. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's my understanding you've reached the verdict. Is that correct?
We have,
Okay, and who will be the spokesperson? jury?
that would be,
All right, you may proceed.
we the jury in the case, Rotary Club of Flint versus Jordan, find for the defendant, Elizabeth Jordan. We find that Elizabeth Jordan has been a model Rotarian in carrying out the four-way test. President Elizabeth imagines a better future for her children and for her community, a future that reflects the ideals of Rotary.
Okay, I've got to check and make sure, Mr. Annick is.
Mr. Judge. We find that President Elizabeth is relentlessly positive, which brings some doubt into our mind. Someone can be that positive. But.
Nobody gets from this script.
All right.
Not very well.
She is not paralyzed or overwhelmed by the struggle and human toil caused by racism and injustice. She perseveres, she's practical, and President Elizabeth sees what she can do, and she does it.
Elizabeth Jordan takes action. She puts service above self. And we are proud and honored to welcome you to the Past President's Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. The jurors are welcome to remain or go about your business. For those of you that want to stay for our next trial. Start at 2 p.m.
Switch you guys in.
I need to know.
We should be in the middle then.
Guys, why don't we get a picture of everybody who participated?
Good job.
Yes.
Yeah. So Elizabeth, please don't go anywhere quite yet. Mike? Thank you, everybody, for your indulgence. It is hard to roast Elizabeth. I have known her since she was a child, and I was not a child. And I have watched her grow up, and I admire her so much. And I've witnessed her with those babies at meetings and just been immensely proud as a woman. And immensely proud to know her really for a very long time, Elizabeth. So we are here really just to thank you for a year of tremendous service and leading us through a tremendous amount of change. It has been a big year. I'm very excited about what comes next. But Elizabeth really does it all. I think that it's amazing to me when someone makes the commitment that you've made, that you carve time out of your life for so many people. And I know that she's an incredible mother and very present. So I'm sorry for the teasing, but at any rate, thank you so much. And we have a couple of tokens of our appreciation. Okay. Well, I think these are fairly traditional, but I think I love this the most. Past President Elizabeth, you get your.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And you now have a special pin, bragging rights. Up past. Sorry, double pin. Nice little. And then, of course, for the office, presented to Elizabeth K. Jordan for outstanding leadership as president 2022 to 23 Rotary Club of Flint. This is Rob's traditional gift, and of course, anytime if you want to stay here and pop it, you're free. So,
Thank you. Wow, this is overwhelming. This is truly more fun than I could have possibly imagined or hoped for. And what a lot of effort went into doing that and pulling everybody together. But that's really just, I think the magic of this group is when we pull together, and it just, I enjoy you all, and this has been such an amazing experience. I feel that it's been a real gift to me to be able to serve in this role with you over the past year. And Anne Marie is going to do tremendous things in the coming year, and Ellen backing her up. This is a special group, and I can't wait so you get to feel what I'm feeling right now. Thank you all very, very, very much. And on that note, we're gonna see you all next, yes, sir, Jim.
Now I know that I love all of you. And Elizabeth puts her medal to the pedal. She is a star.
Okay. Thank you very much. The day of surprises keeps on coming. I just want to say thank you again, and everybody who pitched in today, not just today, though, the entire year. I mean, this has been a group where, when I was telling with an earshot of Jerry Noodle that, oh, we need, I'll have to beg, to get such and such a job. I was like, no president's gonna beg on my watch, and he just took care of it and made sure it got done. So, so thanks for everybody who stepped up in all those different ways this year. I did not update the slide as I was rushing to get this presentation done. So I got it right in my notes, not on the slide, but thank you, Marie, for the birthdays and inspirational message. Thank you, Terry, for helping with registration and the setup and takedown. And just really, Fred with the wrap. And Dawn is doing the bulletin. I got that part right, I think. No, I didn't. That's wrong too. But thank you all, and of course to Anne Marie. That's amazing. So hard act to follow with that.
Elizabeth, did you do this as a little slippage just so that?
You're not perfect.
Well, you already know that because Bobby caught my spelling error on birthday. If you. I am not perfect, but thankfully that's not one of the things on the 4-way test. You do not have to be perfect to be a Rotarian. So have a great weekend, and I hope I'll see you next Friday for our club meeting at the district conference, and we are adjourned.
Fine, give it a break.
Let me get a picture of you and Anne Marie with your laptop.
Worked out for.